Have you noticed a few of the old anti-Comicsgate arch enemies of yesteryears poking their head up, taking little pot shots at Comicsgate again? Notably, Tess Fowler invoking Comicsgate to attack and try and cancel Sean Gordon Murphy, as if such a thing were possible. We haven't heard diddly squat from a lot of these SJWs in what feels like years now about Comicsgate. And I don't know, I just feel like we're seeing the they try the Voldemort tactic of not mentioning it and hoping it's just going to go away. But yeah, if you get onto Twitter, there's a few of them sort of starting to talk about it again. And we know what that means. That means we must be doing something right. And when I look at the state of things, I look at what's happening, I read comments in comment sections, I watch streams, I watch videos, I see books succeeding, I see other things happening. I just get this feeling that Comicsgate in 2020 has all the ingredients it needs to succeed and sustain itself into the future. Remember, that was a huge, doubt and criticism when there were only a couple of books available, that this method is not sustainable. You need to figure out a way to emulate the direct market, or start a publishing company and get everything into one thing and get into comic book shops and just basically continue on doing what the failing industry has been doing for decades, and only then could Comicsgate sustain itself and survive into the future. Well, we didn't listen to them then, we're still not listening to them now, and it's chugging along. It's evolving for sure, but it's happening. We've got a platform in Indiegogo that's very supportive of every campaign that comes along. We've got super passionate and excited fan base and creator pool. We've got more and more YouTube channels coming up, and we just have a system that works. When I did some videos on the problems, the issues with Critias and Detective Dead not happening, and a lot of the comments in those videos, and not just mine, were really negative. This is going to be a big stain on Comicsgate, this is going to hurt us. It doesn't look good for Critias. It reflected poorly on Ethan because he promoted Critias so heavily. But I think in the long run, this event will just show that the system works. We're not going to be like the comic book industry of years past, when something fails or creators behave badly or even criminally, and it's all swept under the rug and you fail upwards, and that's not going to happen here. When mistakes are made, lessons are going to be learned, and new practices are going to be put into place, and we're already seeing that happen. People already are really focused on making sure that what happened there is not going to happen again. So yeah, that's the system working as intended. And as far as I can see in the comic book scene, in all of comic book entirety, Comicsgate is the only group that's there, ready, willing, and able to make these kind of course corrections that are needed. And that's going to be essential going forward. That, you know, this is the free market at work. It makes corrections. It's not a top-down decision made by committee. It's the actual audience and fans and how they react to what's happening and how creators are handling their businesses that drives the movement forward and you know, eventually the industry forward. For too long, mainstream comics and even independent publishers have just pretty much ignored both what the fans want out of comic books and also market pressures. Increasingly getting your books out late is going to be an issue. Over-promising is a massive issue. You know, all these things that hurt comics, they are going to be really frowned upon, and more creators are just not going to be able to get away with this stuff. And that's the beauty of Comicsgate. It has the ability to put pressure on creators and say, you know, if you don't live up to what you've promised, we're going to punish you by not supporting you and backing you, but not even talking about what you're doing, not promoting it. We're seeing the power of Comicsgate play out in the on the promotional side of things. The effects of that. So, you know, in the realm of independent comic books, there's traditionally, you know, you've got the publishers that follow the old model of you get a publishing house together with a staple of creators doing certain projects, and you release those books. They go into stores, they get sold through various online portals. I guess that's a bit more like following along the lines of Image. And so all the independent publishers on down from there, running on that model. Then there's independents who are exclusively crowdfunding their books, but they're not Comicsgate. Some of them are SJWs, many of them aren't, but either way, they're not identifying as Comicsgate. They're not taking advantage of that network, and that's really what a big part of the benefit of Comicsgate is in 2020, is this promotional network. So it's a way of letting fans and creators know that you support the values of Comicsgate, the core values, and if you want to, you know, take advantage of this network that has been built over the past 3 years, a network of people who genuinely actually buy comic books and promote them, you can't just say you're Comicsgate, but you've also got to be Comicsgate and live Comicsgate, which means if you want to take advantage of that network, you've got to promote other books as well that are Comicsgate, if you're going to expect others to promote you in turn. And like I said before, we're really seeing the effects of that promotional network on a number of books that you can go out and look at right now. So the biggest one I would say is Doug TeNapel's latest book, Bigfoot Bill 2, which came out of the gate strong, but then really hasn't moved much since. And you know, that must, the fact that Doug has renounced and denounced Comicsgate, and removed himself from that promotional network, must have had a serious detrimental effect on his results. But on top of that, there's also other books, and these are really good books, quality books, from people with a proven track record of delivering, who, you know, they're not SJWs, they're great with the fans, they promote their stuff constantly, but they are not tapped in to this network. They're not part of the movement. They presumably don't want to be, and they're not succeeding in the way that they otherwise would be. I'm not the kind of person to say you need to be Comicsgate, you should be Comicsgate. Everyone should do whatever they feel is best for them and their team. But I mean, the results are becoming clearer and clearer. Just the other day, a guy that I don't really watch, I'm not really too familiar with, Raging Golden Eagle, has a pretty big YouTube channel and put out a sort of anime inspired book, and it's just gone gangbusters. I think he's made something like $60,000 in a day. That's more than Doug TeNapel made. It just goes to show the power of this network. If you can build up a fan base within this network, we will all support and promote what you're doing. And I mean, that is invaluable and increasingly becoming so clear that it is necessary for people who are putting out new people who are putting out their first books. So I'm probably just rambling and repeating myself 100 times now. Again, just to reiterate, forget the doubters, forget the cynical people. People just want to bring things down. They want to, you know, something hasn't worked out exactly the way that they wanted it, so they think, oh, you know, the sky's falling in. It's working. It's got everything it needs to work. You know, we've got all the ingredients. We just need to cook now. We just need to keep on cooking. Stick with the system. The system works. And we're going to have a ripper year. Alright, so I hope you like this video. Please subscribe to the channel if you want to see more like this. Give this video a like. Leave a comment below, and I will see you tomorrow. Cheers, bye. Hi, I'm Michael Bancroft, writer and artist of The Lucent. Going on 5 years now, I've been passionately working on my magnum opus, a fantasy graphic novel that blurs the line between dreams and reality. My first book in the series, Waking Dream, introduces readers to the mysterious world of the Lucent, a place that on the surface looks not too dissimilar from the world you know, but where nothing is quite as it seems. It's a place where powerful enemies hide in plain sight, fighting ancient battles for control of the future. Here we meet Ella Forsyth,
a young woman who by all accounts appears to be living a low-key life. But in her dreams, she's hiding a secret with the power to turn everything we know upside down. Sign up now to be notified by email when this campaign goes live, and you'll receive an exclusive postcard if you go on to back the book. For regular updates, follow me on Twitter at @TheLucentComic. Together, we can create something that's truly memorable. See you at launch.